Welcome to Inside PTI, weekly videos designed to get you the trial results you want, agronomy explanations you need, and hopefully insights that will set you up for a successful growing season. Today we're going to talk about starter fertilizer programs for corn. You know, at the PTI farm, we test a wide variety of different starter fertilizer programs, and lately, I think it's important to talk about starter fertilizers today because my phone's been ringing off the hook from growers that have been asking me, well, what's been working the best at the PTI farm? What's given us the best starter fertilizer response? And so I thought we'd go over maybe some of the top programs that responded very well for us this past year at the PTI farm. So today we're going to talk about starter fertilizer programs applied through Furrowjet. And on the screen right now, you'll see our fertilizer attachment called Furrowjet and the placement that it offers. Now, Furrowjet, it offers us a three-way band where we can split our starter fertilizer into three different bands. A third of it goes right where the seed's at in the center of the furrow, and then we go 3/4 of an inch away and higher from that seed placement. So here you see a young seedling. We've got our seed and our seminal root system, and then the crown root formation that happens right above it. If you look at the blue dots that are placed on the screen, that's the Furrowjet placement of fertilizer. And this is pretty unique because we've talked about this in the past, that fertilizer placement is important. We're getting a portion of the starter fertilizer right next to the seed in that seminal root system, but we also know that at V3 we're going to transition from the seminal roots to the crown roots, and we need to continue feeding the plant there. So Furrowjet with the two outside bands that are 3/4 of an inch higher and over give us that ability to start feeding those crown roots once they start developing. One thing to remember too is the wings of Furrowjet are going to cut or slice through the sidewall. And so we've seen some benefits of that, especially if we're in some wetter conditions when we plant. That wing of Furrowjet will come in, slice the sidewall, and it helps the furrow collapse on the backside with our closing system. So that's one other advantage with Furrowjet. So let's get into what products have worked well, what starter fertilizer programs have done very well for us at the PTI farm when we've applied them through Furrowjet. The best product that we saw in 2019, I guess if we rank these, we'll rank the top three today. The number one program has been Nature's 10-18-4. This is a product called Impulse. Here you see the rates that we used this year. We went from 3 to 6 gallon per acre. You can see the yield response. We break everything down into yield response, but I think more importantly, it's good to look at profitability, because we're all into farming for a business and we have to look at profitability. So our economic optimum rate of this 10-18-4 Impulse product from Nature's this past year in 2019 at the PTI farm came in at 4 gallons to the acre. So this has been a product that's worked pretty well for us at PTI. This is what you've seen is 2019 data. I'll even go back a year into 2018 and here's some of the yield responses. We've seen some pretty good performance from this 10-18-4. Okay. Now this year coming in at number 2 was a product called 721-3 from QLF. This was a first time entry for us at the PTI farm with this QLF 723 MKP. And this was applied at 3 gallon to the acre and offered us some pretty nice returns at $35.53 an acre. So for a first time entry, it did really good. The 721-3 is an interesting product because it's got sugar along with the 721-3 MKP. It's called Boost. And so I think that's offering some benefits as well. But this one performed really well and actually came in at number 2 for us at the PTI farm this year in 2019. But 3 gallons of an acre, a low rate. I think this is interesting where we've got some options. That low of a rate, we could either go through Furrowjet or we could go even through a Keaton seed firmer or a Smart firmer with that low of a rate. Next is Marco Fertilizer. They've been a long time provider of liquid fertility products to us here at Precision Planting. Their LTE product is a 620-4. This is an 80-20 product that's done very well. Here you can see the net returns. We've tested this at 4 gallon to the acre all the way up to 14 gallon, and that economic rate is coming in at that 10 gallon rate. And I think about Furrowjet a lot. You know, growers sometimes want to position Furrowjet on the planter because using some higher rates. And I look at this product, this Marco LTE, the 620-4 coming in at 10 gallon to the acre. I mean, that is one of the benefits of Furrowjet. We can go higher volumes because we do have a 3-way placement. Again, 1/3 in the center next to the seed, and then 1/3 on each side in the wings. But 10 gallon has been our economic optimum rate with the Marco LTE, that 620-4. So we've got information available on all the programs that we tested at PTI. Here's just a quick snapshot, and I know it's hard to read. I don't expect you guys to be able to see all of this, but go to your local Precision Planting Premier dealers and ask them for this information, because they'll have this as a resource. The data, we kind of separate it into starter fertilizer response with Furrowjet. We also break it down into biologicals, fungicides. There's different classifications, even insecticides. So we kind of rank them from top to bottom. We show the yield response from each treatment, the actual ROI from each individual treatments through our Furrowjet. So that's available through your local Precision Planting Premier dealer. I'll finish up on this. I think reallocation is an important part of a starter fertilizer program. If you're a producer that uses dry fertilizer, I think we need to take into account what liquid we're putting on the planter. So most growers are going to go soil test, and that soil test is broken into two pieces, right? You've got how much fertilizer you need for buildup, you've got how much fertilizer you need for maintenance, or how much yield you're going to grow. But now we have to look at how many times we're going to apply a fertilizer. Okay, so if you're going to just do dry fertilizer, you can apply all the fertilizer in that dry treatment and you're fine. But if you're going to come in with liquid fertilizer on the planter and do your dry fertilizer, you need to account for that. So we need to reallocate. We need to drop our dry fertilizer rates in the fall to account for the nutrients we're putting on with the planter. We call that a reallocation program, and I think that's very important to think about with liquid starter programs that are on the planter. So today's InsidePTI agronomy tip of the day is we've had some really good luck applying liquid starter fertilizer programs on the planter when we've used them correctly. Remember to implement a fertilizer reallocation program like we talked about earlier. And I think there's some great liquid starter fertilizer programs that are available to farmers today, and they can offer some nice yield advantages along with some really nice economic profits. For more information or questions, feel free to reach out to any Precision Planting Premier dealer, or you can email us at InsidePTI@precisionplanting.com. We'll see you on the next episode of InsidePTI. In the meantime, thanks so much for watching.